What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? Please don't hold me to the cross. Don't stone me. First of all, happy Pride. It's Pride Month. It's June 1st. Girl, we just finna be all up in here. You know, it is what it is. Y'all know this my time. But anyway, please don't come for me. Don't come for me. Don't come for me, girlfriends. Girlfriends and guy friends, I didn't forget y'all. It's just been real hectic. You know, after the Beyonce concert and trying to get back on track, it just was a lot that was going on. Okay, it was a lot that was going on. And then I'm trying to play catch up, right? So I did not realize, because in my mind, I was thinking, ooh, let me just do every video, like put everything in one video. Absolutely not. Okay, I can't retain all of that. Now, mind you, I looked at half of this stuff last week while I was at work. And then I realized, oh, girl, you got at least 2 more episodes in that week to look at, plus the 2 episodes. So that's like 7 episodes. Oh, girl, I don't know. Even though and I finally went on ahead and watched it, so I still got last week's episodes to watch. So I'm going to give y'all a separate video. Hopefully it's going to be today. If not, it'll be tomorrow. But you're definitely going to get it. But here's the thing. I'm going to be real honest with you. After I did the Beyond the Gates, what it was, 50 to 52, episodes 53 to now, girl, the only thing that it was just too much. It was too much of what? Derek and goddamn Ashley. You know what? I feel bad though. Honestly, I really do feel bad because I know that some of the cast members, they're like very much online. You know what I'm saying? They're with the TikToks and all that stuff. So I'm pretty sure they're on Twitter, you know? And I just wonder, like, how do they feel? Ashley and Derek, how do they feel, those characters, the actors and actresses that play them? I know they read the stuff and they see it. And I feel bad that we do be coming down hard on them or whatever, but facts are facts, okay? That's just really what it is. And I will continue to say this. This is feel like a broken record, but it still needs to be said. At the end of the day, their characters and their character arcs their storyline, it does not work on this show right now, okay? For what we're getting into and the juiciness and everything, everybody is connected. And yeah, they're connected too, but only to Naomi and Jacob. And they're more so B characters as well. And even like, I could do without Jacob, to be quite honest. Let me tell you something. Jacob been on my shit list ever since he did that shit to Danny. Now, granted, I know he was trying to do his job or whatever, but baby, it's never sat right with me. And you know, you don't start off the series when you giving all that sweet loving to your wife. I was like, oh my God, I love this. They being so affectionate. You know, go ahead, baby, skeet it out. And then you want to do that? Girl, you turn me off. Sir, you turn me all the way off. But I don't know, girl. I just feel a little bit bad because I know they be reading the stuff. They read the stuff. Within these episodes, this block of episodes, we did get Ted, new Ted. And you know, y'all know that Cece from Dreamgirls. Listen, Cece, I still ain't like the way that you did Effie. That was your sister. That was your little sister too. You was supposed to have her back through and through. You know what I'm saying? You really let Curtis, you put your career ambitions ahead of your family obligations, okay? That was your little sister. You supposed to be her protector. You know, that's what Beyonce said. I'm gonna be your protector. That's what you were supposed to do in this city world of the entertainment industry. And you knew what Curtis was doing. You knew what he was doing. And then guess what happened? You wind up getting fucked up about him too. What? Was it worth it? No. Anyway, so he kind of been on my shit list for a minute too. But I said, you know what? The people say recasts always happen up in these soap operas. So, you know, and I have to think back on Passions. Did they have recasts? Y'all gotta forgive me, okay? I know other soap operas. I know General Hospitals. I know All My Children's and Days of Our Lives and Young and the Restless and all that stuff. I know about that, right? Did I actually sit down and watch that? Absolutely not. Because, maybe a couple of episodes here and there. But I'm the type of person that I like to pick up the stuff from the very beginning. And them goddamn shows start like back in 1500. Okay, so that means that it's a million episodes that I would have to catch up, and we don't have that time. But see, Passions was the only one. Passions was the only one that I called from the beginning to the very goddamn end. Okay? And that shit was ridiculous as fuck. All right? And it was so good. It was so good. So that's why, like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I can't think of, did they ever? I'm pretty sure they did do some recasting on Passions. But like I was seeing, people say recastings do happen on these shows. Honestly, truthfully, sure. Especially the ones that been on forever and a day. Yeah, I can see that. But, I was a little bit on the fence about the new Ted. CC, he doing his job. It wasn't the fact that he couldn't act, because he acts down. I seen him in a whole bunch of other stuff. He acts down. He gives a very great performance all the time. And truth be told, I feel like he's one of the strongest actors on the show right about now, right? I just have a problem with his wardrobe. I think that's the only thing that's bothering me. That's the only thing that's bothering me with new Ted. New Ted needs to find a new tailor. That's it. Baby, get him a new tailor for season 2, because they have been renewed for season 2, and I am so happy, so proud. We're going to hang in here. We're going to be like on episode 500. Season 1, episode 500, before we get to season 2, okay? Because when the hell this season over with, we don't care. We're going to still be watching. But that's the only thing that I got. So, like I said, I watched these blocks of episodes last week, so don't judge my memory. And I just finished the last 2 for last week. Well, this past week, the week before last week. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all will see the thing, because this is episode 59, all the way from 53 to 59. And let's just do this, okay? Again, we're going to get this out the way. Ashley and Derico, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I'm so sorry. Girl, I don't give 2 shits about their relationship, okay? They don't have no real issues going on. I mean, they do got a real issue. The fact that he moving in, and that's probably what it is. I don't know. Because you expect some exuberant stuff. You expect some outlandish stuff to be happening, right? But in reality, what they're going through, it's real, okay? You're in a relationship, you thinking you're vibing with somebody, and everything is to the good. You're in that honeymoon stage, and then that honeymoon stage in some relationships just keep going for years. And that's a great thing, okay? If y'all all like that for years and years on out, that is great, right? But then all of a sudden a change happened when y'all want to move in, and then you realize, I like him being here, or I like her being here for a couple of times out of the week, and then it's, knowing the fact that they're going to go home afterwards, that's great for me. That's how it is. But then having them here every single day in my space all the time, moving stuff around, putting their stuff here, doing this, girl, I ain't got time for it. That's what's going on with Ashley and Derek, and that's some real stuff, right? But at the same time, it's like, girl, I don't care, because they're boring. Real life shit is boring on them. Okay, like, jazz it up. You know what I'm saying? Cuss his ass out. Move your shit. No, don't touch my goddamn lamp. Okay, that's mine. Get that goddamn moose head up out of here. Do you pay the bills up in this motherfucker? I've been paying. Well, they can't cuss. They can't cuss on the TV like that. But on this last episode that I just watched, Ted called Leslie a bitch. And I said, God damn, that's what needed to be done. And that didn't do nothing but make her pussy wet. So that's just all it is. Anyway, yeah, they going through the motions. And then this caused them to bring in and back the Ashley and Andre situation. Stop. That's my only real criticism about this show. I don't want it. We don't want it. Stop. It makes no sense. It actually do. Because if y'all look at, I'm not even finna do that. Y'all know it be fine black men with not so fine white women. And not saying that they ugly, because Ashley is not ugly. She's just average. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. you know. And she's boring. That's what it is. It's the personality. It's very boring. It's very bland. And Derek, he's such a man child. He's a man child. Like, instead of just talking to your girl and she telling you that what she need and listen to her, you go ahead and you just take your stuff about the apartment without telling her. And then, well, Ashley, you did say, bitch, this shit ain't really working the way that I needed to. And so he said, well, fuck it, let me take my shit out. And then you go to Andre and you telling him what's going on. And Andre was actually giving her some nice advice. Like, don't just end it. You want this man or whatever. Go ahead and work it out. Go talk. Go back to the apartment and all that stuff. Girl, she at the apartment waiting for him. And Andre is there with her. Derek was talking to Jacob. Jake told him, you got to just talk to her, okay? Like, you got to listen to what she's saying. You got to be considerate. Take her on dates, you don't stop those things just because you're living with each other. I'm pretty sure, you just came up in there and you just tried to take over the damn place with all your shit. You got the smelly ass sofa up in here. You got that moose head up in here. Bitch, what you gonna do for her? He was like, all right. And of course, the time when Derek actually go over there to the place, he hears Andre up in there. He's already insecure about Andre because Andre could take your girl if he wanted to. That's just he knows that. He knows that. It's up to your girl, okay? But eventually they do work that shit out. And then that one scene where Andre see them talking and working it out or whatever, and he just looking like pathetic. And I was just like, oh my God, Andre is longing for this girl. He wants a relationship. Mind you, he is a bachelor. Oh, just a bachelor. That's what he's on. I said, you know what? It comes a time in every bachelor and bachelorette's life, we don't want to play the field no more, okay? We want to settle down a little bit, or at least attempt to. And I said, that's who you want to attempt to settle down with a little bit? Baby, at one point, he was trying to settle with Danny. And that's what it is. Andre is so confused, okay? First, he got a little pitter-patter going for Ashley. He can't get with her because she's so heavily in love with Derek. I don't understand it, but then I kind of do. They do fit, actually, to be quite honest. I see couples like them all the time. Boring ass couples like them all the time, and them be the ones that actually last. So, hey, get you a boring motherfucker. But, don't do that. Don't do that. You need a little bit of excitement in your life. But then Danny, Andre at this point, I feel like is getting tired of just being a little play toy to Danny Banani, okay? And he wants a little bit more. He want to put a little thing on it, like, girl, claim me for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Don't just, call me over here for some dick. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. I'm glad to provide it. It takes nothing to whip it out and get it on. But damn, can we go out a little bit? Can we go to the museums or some shit? That's what it's giving. Danny ain't working on that, okay? Danny likes what she has going on now. And you want to know why? One, I feel like in her mind, she's like, you good enough for a little yin yang yang around the house. I would never go public with you because, first of all, you're my sister's nephew by marriage, but you're still my sister's nephew. Okay. And you're young as shit. You're younger than me. All right. And the main thing is she is not over Bill. Girl, she is not over Bill. Okay. And that's just really what it is. Moving on from that, I will say this. Danny, you got a lot of cool points for me because, that little conversation that she had with Chelsea. Now, Chelsea, I feel so bad for your girlfriend, but that's just how it is. We put our hearts out there when you finally want to start having feelings for somebody and then just stomp on it. See, this is why I don't talk to people. I let people approach me, especially given that I guess you could say I'm a little bit dominant. I'm a little bit masculine. Right about now, I probably look a little feminine, you know what I'm saying? Because my hair down and everything, how I'm talking, my mannerism or whatever. But in real life, I can give very much dominant tease, and that's just what I am, okay? I'm not feminine like that, but I do know I have feminine aspects still there, right? So it's kind of hard, and in the lesbian world, they call it like, I'm a soft stud. Trying to talk to who's attracted to very much feminine women. I like femmes and I like stems, okay? But definitely femmes. And, the straight girls, you can't tell whether a femme girl is straight or lesbian or bi. You know what I'm saying? And so I just don't be wanting to offend people. I don't want to get my face cracked. by trying to talk. I don't know how to be like, oh, what's up? How you doing? You know, going up and approaching people. You know, I got a lot of insecurities and self-image things to go, you know, all of that stuff, right? So it's a little difficult. And so when you finally get somebody and then all of a sudden, oh my God, it's not what you want or what they want, Chelsea, I feel you. She talked to Allison. We thought that they was going to do a little bit of something. Allison basically said, looking girl, at the end of the day, you know, this really wasn't what I wanted. Okay, at the end of the day, me and my husband, that's my nigga. That's my man. My man. It ain't nothing coming between that. Yeah, I like to mess around, but we do that together. That's how we keep the marriage spiced up. Okay, it ain't my fault that you want to have feelings. Girl, she didn't even give a damn about the fact that she forgot that Chelsea wasn't even in the doing the modeling stuff no more. And that's the thing. Chelsea probably was listening to her, whatever, and going, you know, Allison didn't give a damn. She was like, girl, we ain't here to talk. We here to, okay? We here to bang, and we here to rub, and we here to stick. That's just what it is, okay? You know, me and my husband, we come as a unit. Ain't no outside stuff. And so basically, she kind of broke little Chelsea heart. I said, oh, Chelsea, what the hell did you think? You thought that lady, no shade, Chelsea, you really thought that lady was just going to go ahead and have like a little off to the side relationship with you or whatever? No. Okay, it's never going to happen. Get you a single girl. Okay, that's what you do. And then when Danny was up in the country club with Pam and they was acting out because Bill and Haley was up in there and they wound up kissing each other or whatever, I said, oh, that was so goddamn random. Y'all drunk. And at this point, I was like, look at them being so pathetic and all this stuff, woo, trying to show out. I said, Bill and Haley don't really got shit to do. Okay, they really don't got shit to do but to just be they just irk me so much. They irk me so much. And then they started gloating because Chelsea said, well, why would you do that? You know, there are people out here that's really out here going through things and trying to figure out their sexuality, playing around like that, acting like you're fake gay just to make Dad and Haley mad. That is just disgusting. Okay, I said, oh my God, damn bitch, calm down because you got shit going on. But I hear where you coming from because I hate the fake gay shit too. You know, I hate that too. But girl, what? Your mama ain't that... It ain't that deep. And she was like, yes, it is. It is that deep. Here go Bill and Haley. Oh, maybe she, you know, seeing Chelsea getting, chewing her out and all that. I said, girl, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Because you really thought that she did something? No. And then what wound up happening? Danny went over there to talk to her daughter, and her daughter basically told her what was going on. And Danny gave that whole speech about, baby girl, you do what you want to do. I'm an ally. You want me to stop? I'll stop. You want me to be there, bitch? I'll be there. You want me to be a wing woman and get you a woman too? Girl, I do that too. I said, that's what you supposed to fucking do. Okay? That's what you do. You know, I love a good parent who already just be like, child, I don't give a fuck what you are. Go ahead and do what you got to do. You know, I'm going to still be here. I'm going to be here for you to cry on. I'm going to be here to celebrate you and all that stuff. You know, that's basically what Danny gave. And Bill had to come over there and try to interject. And Chelsea said, Bill, I don't need you. I'm up here talking to my mama. I said, see, now, while y'all was over there doing all that gloating and, you know, look what Danny got. She got cussed out and all that stuff, feeling the type of way. You got your face cracked because Chelsea said, get the fuck because I want my mama. I said, I know that's right, Chelsea. Meanwhile, Naomi and Jacob still dealing with Miss June. Now, see, when they left that boot, it was a picture of a child. And 2 kids or whatever. Now, I seen the little chatter on the Twitters where they were saying that what if June is the mother of Samantha and Tyrell? And what if Martin, because whatever he did, because obviously he committed vehicular homicide. That's what manslaughter. That's what I feel like happened. And Bill cleared that shit up, covered it up. So that's what they think, that basically he killed the parents or whatever fucking happened, and then he wound up adopting the kids. Some shit like that. I said, I don't know. You know, in the soap opera world, some things is crazy. I said, I can kind of see what they coming from, but I don't. Especially after when she said that that was a lie. That was a lie. But, you know, she was given the as the world turned type of situation. I truly feel like June is really Haley's mother or some type of relationship to Haley, some way, somehow. Okay. Now, if it do turns out that she could be type of relationship to Tyrell and Samantha, I'd be a little gagged too. Like, what? Oh, I ain't see that coming. But I really do feel more strongly that she's some type of relation to Haley. And because Haley don't know her mama. Haley was orphaned. So she don't know. You know what I'm saying? But they had to put Miss June up in the hospital because Miss June had a little bit of pneumonia in her little lung young. You know what I'm saying? And so they had to get that taken care of. So that was cute. That was cute that they was taking care of her. You know what I'm saying? What else is going on? Listen, girl. Tomas and Eva, they gonna wind up fucking. That's just basically what it is. And I need Kat to just go ahead and move on to something else. Kat ain't got no other business. Kat is like, listen, girl, I'm finna live out this whole goddamn thing. This is probably the most exciting thing that she had going on in her life. I said, baby girl, and I understand what's going on. But girl, are you doing other things? Because what happened to the little fashion line that you and Chelsea was supposed to be doing? Okay, the bag line. Girl, we heard about that in the first 4 episodes. First 5 episodes. First couple of weeks. All right? Baby, we done switched over here to Eva and trying to get her out the picture. I said, oh, you are dedicated, bitch. Because she was like, at one point, she somehow came in contact with Leslie because she was trying to figure out who the hell hit Laura. Okay, and as she was thinking, it had to be either Leslie or goddamn Eva. She turned that phone on while Leslie was talking. Leslie is a terrible person. All right, Leslie, Dana, Sherry, Anna, and every other personality that's up in the head of hers, she is a goddamn terrible person. Okay, a villainess. You know, she not up there with Veronica yet. Veronica from Halves and Half Nots has got to be the worst. She has got to be the worst mother ever that I've seen in a black soap or whatever, because my God, the homie, oh baby, she's turning over. Okay, she's disgusted that it's June 1st and it's Pride Month right about now. I just said, y'all know, oh, let me tell you something. Tyler Perry has given us some stuff that is a lot of questionable. One of his greatest things that he's ever given us from TV is the Halves and Half Not. Baby, when I tell you I was hooked, and y'all know for the ones that been here forever, y'all know I was hooked on that. And Veronica gave it to us each and every time, bitch. I liked the hoe, but I hated the hoe at the same time. Okay? Because that motherfucker, she was a great villain. A great villain. And Leslie, girl, you are psychotic. Okay? Because how do you go from saying, oh, I'm just being a mother to my daughter, and she's my only child, and I love her, and I do all this stuff, but you willing to throw that bitch under the bus on some shit that she ain't even do. You kicked her out the goddamn pot, man, because she over there trying to get to know Ted, and Ted actually wanted to get to know you, and because the plan backfired on your ass, what the whole thing wasn't part of the purpose of trying to get Ted blow his spot up was so that you said Eva could get her spot and Eva get what she deserves because that's her birthright, right? That's what you said. So now that she over there being taken in by this man, you got a problem with it because he ain't taking in to you. Okay, that's just what it is. That's really what it is. He got her up in the hotel, you know, doing all of this stuff. Girl, you're terrible. And they ain't gonna tell Kat, but put out the whole scenario. Oh, so you think Eva just got on the bike and went down there, found where Laura was, hit her with the bike, and sped off, and then did this stuff in the hospital. All this. I said, oh my God. She was like, now why would she do that? Okay, no, and you can't prove it, and woo woo woo. I said, now why would you even imply? Even if you was trying to make an example, why would you even imply that? Because of course, Kat is telling and playing it to everybody. Jacob, the mom, the daddy, that one part, not the last part that's showing that, you know, she said hypothetically, basically. and you can't prove it or whatever. But at the end of the day, Jacob does his job well, and Ted is smart enough to know that, yeah, Eva ain't the one that's gonna do that shit. Leslie is the most psychotic person on this damn show, and she's the one that's gonna do something like that. This is up her alley, for real, for real. So yeah, we're gonna have to go ahead and keep an eye on that one. They can't take her in because there's no real evidence. But now you got Kat, she's up here playing Inspector Gadget. Okay, because she's up here, talking to Laura, trying to figure out, talking to Shanice, trying to figure out, was there any nurses on staff and who tried to get up in the room and all this stuff, because they're trying to connect the fact that Laura and that high potassium, that gave her that little cardiac event. Yeah, and try to tie it in with Leslie. And I said, yeah, she did that shit. And she tried to blame that shit on Eva. She literally told Eva, bitch, you really do care for me, because look how you took up for me and you ain't put me under the bus. But bitch, you keep playing with me, I'll make sure they do this shit to you. I said, oh my God, thank God that they found out that Eva do have an alibi, okay? Found her at the casino, and she was taking pictures and all that stuff during this whole time that Laura had got hit and all of that shit or whatever. I said, oh my goodness. Leslie is just so goddamn ridiculous. Being up in a hotel room, stealing the shit, when Ted said, your bag look a little heavy. Now, let me tell you something, Leslie. I ain't even gonna hold you, and I ain't even gonna fault you for that. If it's a fancy-ass hotel, bitch, I'm gonna take something out of that bitch, too. Okay, I was up in the Peninsula in the Beverly Hills. Did I take some shit? Yes! Because I wasn't paying for the room anyway. But bitch, I'm gonna take them shoes, I'm gonna take that rug, I'm gonna take this towel, I'm gonna take this. I took a lot of stuff, okay? So there's that. 9 out of 10, that'll be the one and only time I'll be up in there. So, hey, it was fancy, But she was all up in Eva's room, and, Ted popped up, and I just want Ted to stop dealing with her. And I get it. He has to. But at the end of the day, trying to tell her off, and, he's basically saying, I'm going to get your ass and I'm going to lock your ass up because you the one. And he put it together that he knows that she did that shit. And she practically admitted it. And she was threatening him. Like, bitch, you ain't going to say shit because you know what I can do. And I'm like, what the fuck? Tell that bitch, I need a warrant for her arrest, bitch. Okay? Throw her in jail and lock it up, But we need her out. We need her out to start chaos. That's what it is. That's the type of villain she is. Meanwhile, you got that going on. Ted, they got Eva a little booth at a salon or whatever. He paying a boot rent and everything. I said, damn, come on, Teddy Robux. Oh, Daddy Warbucks. I'm finna go watch, what's it called? Annie. It's Annie. Y'all know I never watched the Black Annie. No shade, I just never was interested. Give me the classic, okay? Carol Burnett, that's my girl. Tim Curry, that's my nigga. But anyway, so you got that going on. What more can we say? Leslie is terrible. And if we didn't even know how much more psychotic she was when she was up there in that mirror in her apartment and she was just looking and she was like, do you want Danny Ted? Or do you want, not Danny, do you want Dana? Or do you want Leslie? Or do you want, oh, I know what you want. And then came back dressed as Nicole, and she said, oh, do you want Nicole or you want Nicole 2.0? I'm Nicole Richardson, and I do this and I do that. I didn't ask for your goddamn resume. Why you always got to put that? I said, bitch, why are you arguing with yourself? And at the end of the day, like Ted said, Nicole ain't do shit to you. Okay, Mona said the same thing. Baby, Mona was having it up to here with that bitch, okay? And it's just like the delusions that she live in. I don't understand when people get like this. The obsession of people, because we see it all the time, though. It happens so much where people become so obsessed with a person. They stalk them. They try to force them to be with them. And it's like, if you're trying to force somebody to be with you, wouldn't you feel some type of way that especially like if you're trying to blackmail them to do something for you or be with you or be around you, wouldn't you feel some type of way that you had to force them and then think like, oh, they don't really love me because I'm making them do this? What's the fucking point, bitch? Like, girl, this don't make no sense. That man don't want you, okay? You're psychotic. Let it go, all right? Moving on. But no, keep going. She's going to keep going. Shout out to Shanice, okay? I have come to the conclusion Shanice is one of those B characters. Well, she's actually literally a C character because she's not always in the show. But she needs to be elevated to an A character, okay? She needs to be in every goddamn episode because I holler each and every time she is either gossiping or some shit is going down and being discussed and she is just standing there like this. Making it so obvious that she is eavesdropping on everything that is going on. Girl, what the fuck? Oh, yeah. So you got that, and then this whole situation with Doug and Vanessa. Let me tell you something, Vanessa. You got your goddamn nerves. Vanessa, we already know you're gonna fuck that man. We know you're gonna do what's his name? Joey. We know you're gonna do him. I saw the previews for the week that I gotta catch up on. And you up in that goddamn restaurant talking to him, and then Doug popped up and y'all was a little bit too close. Doug put two and two together already. Okay, and Doug walked the hell out. And then you gonna pop up at that goddamn hospital. Let me tell you something. When I say the audacity, you got all of the audacity to come up in that hospital, run into Ted, and try to cuss him out about cheating on Nicole when you literally was about to cheat on you been cheating on your man, and you about to cheat. You was about to fuck with Joey, and he caught you. And you coming out here. I said, now, Vanessa, what you said would have worked had you not been a whore yourself. I can't say, honestly, I don't want to say whore because you're sexually free. That's fine. But you're in a marriage. You're an adulterer. That's what it is. Granted, we know, like I said, Doug is cheating on you too, but he's cheating with gambling. You're physically cheating with another body or bodies, okay? Because ain't no telling how many people up in that goddamn town that you done fucked around with at this point. Just divorce the man. Y'all ain't got kids. Well, y'all do, but they grown. Divorce him. If you got to do all this, she was like, when she went to go find Doug, after he caught her and Joey at the diner or whatever, she was like, even though I don't want to, I'm going to have to go after my husband and see what's going on. What? Divorce him. That's all that we need. Divorce him. Okay, stop playing around, What is the problem? Anyway, I said, child, you got your goddamn nerves. Ted, I'm gonna need you to stop going over there seeing Leslie, because it's really not doing what you think it's doing. A person like Leslie does not get off. She gets off on you giving her any ounce of attention. Whether it's negative, whether it's cussing her out. And honestly, the cuss out one, that actually is making her hot. Trust and believe, I didn't beat, let me clear this up, because before it come out, no, I'm not a stalker. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I've been in relationships or been in situationships where you get into it and they cuss your ass out and you mad, but shit, at the same time, you turned on. I've been there. Listen, it gets me all the time. Especially if I really like the person and we vibing or whatever. Yeah, you cuss me out. I'll let you do it because it's kind of hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go do some things. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. But Leslie, on the other hand, that's another different beast. Okay? That ain't the same realm. She's like I said, she's psychotic. The whole situation with Martin and Smitty. Bill telling Smitty that, yeah, you need to talk to your man because trying to basically put his shit out there. And then Martin keep on avoiding him. Baby, I feel like Smitty is about to get to the end of his rope eventually. Okay? Because he won't talk to him the way that he want to talk to him. And Smitty with them glasses? All right. Come on, little white boy. Smitty, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. You deserve so much better. You really do. At first, I was taken aback that Martin was with a white man, but I come to the consensus, baby, I like Smitty. And Smitty, you deserve so much better. Whatever, who you do, I really want you to cheat on this man. I know I shouldn't advocate for that or whatever, don't break up homes or whatever, but look how Martin is treating this man. No, okay? Martin has been on my shit list all because of the way that he treated him. That's just what it was. But the storyline that I really am looking forward to is Anita's storyline. To find out that Anita is from Chicago and she from the Cabrini Greens, okay? Y'all know they tore that down. They tore that down like over 10 years ago. A while ago. And you know what? Let me tell you a story to give you a perception. Like, let me tell you something. Great people come from the hood. Great people come from the hood. And they go to do great things. Case in point, let me tell you. First of all, before I get there, these cut waters, dangerous as shit. Now I know it said it's like 13% alcohol up in this hole, but I had opened this up and y'all know Long Island iced teas are my drinks of choice. That's my favorite drink. I always go and get me one. I get fucked up off of them, But as soon as I opened it and took a sip, baby, it almost took my life. I said, God damn, that shit is strong. I love it. But anyway, so here's the thing. Great people come from the hood, especially out here in Chicago. One of the greatest people, Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama comes from Parkway Gardens. Parkway Gardens, which is also known nowadays as what? O-Block. Exactly. Okay, and look what she became. The first lady of the United States of the Americas, Anita. Anita is the wife of a civil rights activist, a senator, okay? A political activist, all of that stuff, right? And she's a singer. She had her group, the Articulates, and then she went solo and had all her success there. You want to know where she came from? She came from Cabrini Green. And let me tell you something, back in the day, Cabrini Green, that was not the motherfucking place to be at. Okay? Baby, I would be scared to go back to Cabrini Green. Girl, that's where the gangs, that's where all this shit was going on. Oh, it was crazy. And the thing is, let me tell you how gentrification work. Cabrini Green got torn down. And you want to know what's over there in Cabrini Green? Cabrini Green? West Loop. And if you're from Chicago and you've been down in the West Loop, you know the difference, okay? The West Loop and all that shit used to be one of the poor areas. That shit is one of the most expensive areas out here in Chicago. One of, okay? Mind you, I work down there. So, one of. I said, oh, wow. Anita is for the greens. Okay. You got that going on. And she done had a little group mate come out. She trying to make amends with her group mates because of this whole little agent that came through, talking about putting her album out and getting her back out there on the road or whatever. She said, girl, I ain't finna do that. The only way I do that is if we do a reunion with the Articulates, okay? So now Vernon helping her do all that stuff. And then the first girl show up. Let me tell you something. Miss Tracy. Anita was on the phone and said, hey, girl, I know we haven't spoken in a long time, but I just wanted you to see how you doing and see if we can meet up. Tracy said, hell yeah, bitch, I'll be there later on today. Mind you, Tracy are probably up in Philly or whatever the fuck. Tracy got to get on the goddamn train. Tracy got to get on, she like hours away because she was like, I got to get a 2-hour train or some shit like that. Tracy was ready. I said, damn, bitch, you was sitting at that phone and you was waiting for that call, huh? She said, yeah, never miss an opportunity to cuss a bitch out for fucking us up. I said, oh, shit. That's the vibe she was giving. And sure enough, you come in and everything all good. And it's all the pleasantries you're making up and you're getting to know what's going on. You're reminiscing about the past and everything and woo, woo, woo. This is great. Blah, 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 right? And then all of a sudden, the next day, the veil drops and it's like, you got all this shit off the back of just going solo. Meanwhile, I go up in the goddamn club to try to perform and everybody like, well, where the hell Anita at? Where the hell Anita at? And it's like, damn, bitch, I'm here. Okay, she not here no more. It's me, all right? What the fuck? You left us. You left us to do this. You left us to do that and all that shit, bitch. I ain't banned whatever it is that you trying to sell. I said, damn, Tracy. You know what? Tracy said I was trying to be nice. But when you want to give me some bullshit ass excuse, I got to go ahead and tell her what it is, okay? This is how I've been feeling all these years, all right? And you know what? I'm not even mad at her because obviously I read the same thing that some of y'all probably read, that there is something that's going to drop with Anita that happened. And they said it's something that's never been done before in soap history. And I said, which, what? And they was alluding to something that happened with Dante and them or whatever. You know, Dante is Curtis. You're supposed to love me, that Curtis, okay? And so I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. I gotta look at the next episode, last week's episode, so I can catch up for real. I'm mad it was only 4 episodes because I don't think an episode came on Memorial Day, but okay. And then that Tracy said, and even if that was the case, bitch, you gotta get Sharon on board, and I don't even think that's gonna happen. Sharon finna tell Anita ass up, okay? And that's just all it is. She about to spill it all, girl. And I said, girl, I want to hear it, all right? I'm just so intrigued about this storyline with Anita, all right? With her girl, what happened? What is the secret? Who all got left behind? Because you remember Tracy said it wasn't just us that got affected. It was some, and we wasn't the only one that was affected. I said, oh my God, who else was? Is it a baby? Is it what's going on, girl? Anyway, let me get up off here. Let me go catch up. And y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Until you see me again, be good. Peace. Thank y'all for waiting. I apologize, but y'all know life.